Okay, class, welcome to week 4. Hope you all had a great weekend and are looking forward to this last week of class. Um, Legal and ethical practices for school counselors. This will be your last week. I will be grading your videos and presentations right after I send out this recording. But before I do that, I just want to let you know that it's been a great experience having you all in class. I know it's online and we don't get to see each other face to face, but nonetheless, I've been getting to know some of you through email, through discussions, private discussions or whatnot, and so it's been a great experience. So I always enjoy this class. So with that said, for this week you will have your readings for chapters 11, 12, and 13. There is an additional reading here dealing with legal matters surrounding students' sexual orientation and gender identity. I would highly recommend that you read that, skim through it. One of your discussion boards will talk about sexual orientation and gender identity, so it would be a good idea to skim through that additional reading and cite that in your last discussion board. And then there's a article on how a Texas school turns their school climate around with restorative justice practices. So very interesting link there to read. And then we have a course content. Go ahead and look at that. We talk about behavior control and student discipline. One of your discussion boards is about student discipline and how to best model that to students and have them display positive attitudes and behaviors in the classroom. Your discussion boards, just like I mentioned right now, there's two. One is in regards to students and how to encourage students to create and maintain pro-social skills, positive attitudes, and levels of acceptance in the classroom and school site setting to avoid disciplinary incidents. So this is huge right here. A lot of times we tend to, just in general as a school climate, we tend to think of punishment versus acknowledging that there's an incident that occurred and how we can learn both, the stakeholder, the student, the counselor, administration, how can we all learn to best avoid these incidents in the future. So this one's a tough one. It's hard to change a climate when we have stakeholders that are very ingrained in their ways. Don't want to see punishment as the only way of disciplining students. So this is a very hotly debated topic in schools now. So and it's going to be interesting to see some of your responses. Then the second discussion is the need. What can a school counselor do to assist in the protection of LGBT students? And so here you want to discuss leadership and advocacy as a counselor. You want to see what legal consequences for counselors are that do not intervene. So LGBTQ plus is a student population that really has been disenfranchised, has been marginalized, and it's something that we as counselors have to be at the forefront and getting training, getting professional development, and really understanding this student population. So again, interesting discussion board. There is an article that I want you to read for that discussion board as you craft your response. Going back to week 4, you have your final practicum assignment. This is a reflection. There's no right or wrong. And here you are reflecting on the 10 hours of practicum that you conducted for this course. Please be sure to use the log to log in your hours. Okay. So make sure you're clicking on the link and downloading the log and writing down your hours and getting those hours signed. The hours do have to be uploaded with the essay, the practicum reflection, so please upload both. And this is a 2-page reflection, must be submitted and on time by the end of this week, Sunday by midnight. And you should focus on your your experiences in your practicum. So anything that you heard or you observed, that you experienced with students, with the person you were observing or shadowing, any of that is appropriate. There's some examples here. You could talk about any court cases, SARV meetings, suspensions, school board meetings if you attended, IEPs, 504s, discipline actions by assistant principal, the principal, or a counselor. Any of those are appropriate to discuss. And then lastly, you have your your final exam, which is a paper. Here you'll have 2 hours, and there will be 2 scenarios that you would choose, and you're going to respond to. So the scenarios are down there. There's 5 scenarios that you should prepare for, but only 2 you're going to be writing about. So when you open your final exam, you will be able to see what scenarios those are. So you are to select 2 out of the 5 scenarios and write a 2 to 3 page response for each. Okay. So here you want to use course information, the resources, any additional readings, laws, policies, administrative procedures, any discussion boards that you crafted, ethical standards that counselors should follow. So you must cite at least 2 citations for each response. Okay. And then when we discuss the human element, this is us as a counselor. How would we best approach this situation or this scenario? So that's what I mean by the human element. So discuss the human element, discuss the role of the counselor in dealing with either child abuse, constitutional rights being violated, suicide, bullying, self-harm. Okay? So what I would recommend is that you write your essays on Word and craft your responses, and then upload them onto the link for the final exam. Also recommend that you have all your potential reference materials handy, so that way you're not looking and back and forth and wasting your time as you're crafting your essays. Okay. So I recommend maybe spending I would spend 1 hour on each scenario. So 1 hour spent on one scenario, write a 2 to page response, and then another hour spend on the second scenario and write the 2 to 3 page response. So that is it for the course. A couple of housekeeping information and just kind of business. Like I said, I will grade your presentations today, hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow, and your videos. And then I will grade everything else starting this week. So whoever submits their assignments, the final, their discussion boards, I'm going to just grade them as I get them, right? If everything goes well, I should have your final grades posted by Tuesday of next week. So that's what I want to do. Everything's due on Sunday by midnight. And so I want to give myself a day to really, look at everything, make sure everything's accurate, and submit everything to the registrar by Tuesday morning. So if you have any questions, please email me. If you email me Saturday or Sunday in regards to an extension, I will not grant that. Please be aware that you must let me know with ample time if there's any issue. Sunday at noon or even in the morning or in the afternoon will not work. That's not ample time. So please, if you will need extra or additional time, please let me know and we could discuss that individually, but don't let me know Sunday. It's just not going to work. So So if you have any questions, email me. Again, it's been a pleasure. Wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we see each other at future conferences because I do attend school-related counseling conferences. So if we do, and if you recognize me, don't be shy. Say hi. So other than that, take care and best of luck. Thank you.